Hey guys, so for today's video I'm going to be doing my as promised MAC palette, like look through, swatches, that kind of thing. Basically I know that I promised this video for you guys like weeks and weeks ago, but I'm finally going to do it now. So hopefully I can provide you with as much information as I can about this palette and hopefully you enjoy this video. So I guess we'll get started. Basically this palette is the 15 holder one. I believe this is the largest one that you can get. I'm not sure if you can get like a double one now, so you can have two of these. Anyway, it's got the clear lid so you can see all the shades. Obviously when it's closed, it's very easy to store. Pros, I love this because you can literally pick and choose what shades you want in it, although cons, obviously you can only fit 15 in and it gets dirty very, very quickly. And it is expensive obviously. I mean, it is a lot cheaper to buy the ready-made palettes, like the warm neutral palette and whatnot. But personally I just prefer customizing my own palettes, so then I know that I will use every single one of these shades. And yeah, so I think that's probably about it that I really need to talk about the actual palette, so we'll go into the shades that I've got. So the first one up here I believe is Forgery. Now I've been onto the website and I cannot find Forgery anywhere. However, I have found a shade called White Frost, which seems very, very similar. They are both frosts. And White Frost is described as a vivid white with a nice shimmer, which once I swatch this for you, you will probably agree that that is about the same. So that is, can you see? I don't know if you can. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Okay, you can kind of see there that that is Forgery, and yeah, it's quite an icy shade, which is very, very pretty, and the pigmentation of it is very, very high, but there is a lot of fallout. The next shade along is Brule, and this is a satin, and it is described as a soft creamy beige. And swatching this one for you, pop that. Can't see that again as much because it's a very, very faint shade. However, it basically just looks exactly how it looks in the pan. The next shade along here is Ricepaper, and this is a frost. This is described as a peachy gold with shimmer. So it's swatching this one here for you. Again, really hard to try and swatch these there for you, but you can kind of, you might be able to see it faintly, I'm not sure, but yeah, very, very pretty, very nice peachy shade, and I like that one a lot. Next one along is called Naked Lunch, and this is a frost also. This is described as a minimal pink with shimmer, so I'm just going to swatch that one. So basically, Ricepaper and Naked Lunch are very, very similar. However, Naked Lunch is more pink, Ricepaper is more yellow. Again, the swatches are coming out very, very faint because they are very faint colours. You can kind of see them slightly, so I know I'm sorry that I can't get better swatches out of them. And the last shade of this row is All That Glitters, is this one here, and this is a veluxe pearl, and it is described as a beige with gold pearl. And I think this is my favourite shade out of the whole of the palette, and that is that one there. It's so, so pretty. It's kind of like a rose gold colour. It's so, so beautiful, and I love that shade so much. Okay, moving on to the middle row, and this first shade here is Wedge, and this is a matte that's described as a soft muted beige brown. This one isn't as pigmented as the other shadows that I've got, so you know, you kind of do have to work at it to try and get some pigment, but it is a very, very lovely shade when you can get pigment out of it. So that is that one, that is Wedge. The shade across from it is Patina, and this is a frost that's described as a taupe brown with golden pearl. There you go, see that one there? Very, very pretty. It's quite a taupey brown sort of thing, which is a bit different to the normal shades that I go for. Because I've got blue eyes, I tend to veer towards warmer, more orangey browns. But I do find that this is really quite pretty and a little bit different. The next shade along is Cork, and this is a satin that's described as a muted golden brown, and this is my all-time favourite shade to put in the crease. There we go. See that there, it's very, very warm, it's so beautiful, and this shade particularly is so easy to blend. I don't know what it is about the formula, maybe it's because it's satin and not matte. It's definitely a lot more buttery and a lot easier to blend, if that makes sense. It's not as chalky, which is sometimes what I find with some of the MAC shadows. This one, I love it a lot. Next shade along is Bronze, and this is a frost described as a gold brown with gold bronze shimmer, and I love this shade so, so much. So beautiful. I love bronze, and I think this works really, really well with my blue eyes, especially with Cork as well. Those two are very much what I use on an everyday basis. So, so pretty. I love them a lot. And then the last shade on the end of the middle row is Woodwinked, and this is a Veluxe Pearl, and it is described as a warm antique gold, and this is just so beautiful. There, Woodwinked is slightly more orangey toned to bronze, which I love because it just enhances the blueness of my eyes. But yes, just generally a beautiful shade that I really like. So yes, that is the middle row done. Moving on to the last row now, and this shade on the end here is Charcoal Brown, and this is a matte described as a muted taupe brown. So I'll just swatch this here for you. Again, this one's a little bit more different to what I'd normally wear on like an everyday basis because it is like a taupe and not a warmer orangey brown. However, I still think it's such a really pretty shade if I want more of a cooler toned eye. Really like that as a crease shade just to blend out other shadows, or just generally darken up the crease. That is swatched there. Okay, the next shade along is Espresso, and this is a matte that's described as a muted golden brown. Just quite a very neutral brown. I really like this, especially for like the lash line, just kind of act as like an eyeliner or something like that. Next shade along is Carbon, and this is a matte described as an intense black. I mean, the swatch on my finger compared to the actual swatch on my arm, you just kind of have to build up the shades a lot, but that is just a black. Next one along is Club, and this is a satin described as a red brown with green pearl. When it's on your eyelids and you catch different lighting, it gets the greeny shimmer in it, and it's so beautiful. Like, I cannot tell you how amazing this shade looks on your eyes. So pretty, and I think it would suit everyone. And then the last shade that I have in my palette is Cranberry. This is a Frost, and this is described as a red plum with pink shimmer. And this is just so pigmented, so beautiful, so autumnal, and I love this shade. So yeah, these are all the swatches that I have on my arm. I'm gonna need to be very careful when I take these off. And there we go. So that is the tour of my completed MAC palette. I will leave as much information as I can down below, as well as my social media links, which are Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat. And yeah, so give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and please don't forget to comment down below your thoughts or suggestions for any future videos, because I'm always open to new ideas. And as always, if you haven't already, please subscribe. Honestly, it makes my day, and hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!